Okay, folks, so I'm going to walk you through how to copy attributes from one vector theme to another based on spatial location. In class, I kind of got part of the way through this, and I was going to show you how to do it through what's called a spatial join, where you're basically joining attribute tables based on spatial location. But I think this is a little bit better way to do it because it's rather than appending the entire table from one theme to another, you're just updating a particular field, okay, based on spatial location. So if you remember, okay, so what we did in class is we traced in or digitized one site one here, and obviously that once you digitize it, then the next task is to fill in the attribute table. Um, So in the case of putting in the district code, you could do that by hand, So on the map right now, I've got this symbolized a little bit differently than how we left it in class. So I made this big polygon here yellow, which is the district, the modern district, which is a territorial unit of the modern day towns and their territories. Okay, so this is the district YA, which stands for Yankee, the town of Yankee. And then this is CO up here for the town of Kokorake in its territory. Okay, so that's you could just obviously you could just manually type in the corresponding values as you digitize, right? So let's say we just finished um, digitizing site one there. We can go to the attribute table. Um, and it's this one down here. We could just type in YA, right, for district. I deleted everything in the district column just so I could show you this process. So you've got values up here, but I deleted them all. But this is a totally blank row other than the site number that we put in. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is a way to do this all at once in terms of filling in the district column. So you can go about your business of um, you know digitizing each site and just putting in the site number and waiting until the very end and populating this district column all at once. Okay, so here's how you would do that. Basically, you just need to select the corresponding district in this polygon layer and in the district polygon layer. So in this case, YA. So there are actually two polygons for Yankee for YA. So I've selected those. Just gone to the attribute table for district and selected them, right? So they're selected now. So now we go up, so now we want to grab all the orange, we want to select all the orange polygons within these two big polygons. How do we do that? Okay, so we're going up to selection. You can select by attributes, you can select by location, okay? So we're going to select by location. And here you're going to get this dialog box that says select features from one or more target layers based on their location in relation to the features in the source layer. So that's a bit of a mouthful, but so you want to go select features from, yes, we want to select features from site areas, right, in hectares, that's the orange layer, site areas. And then using the source layer district, right? And make sure that this will not be checked when you see it first, but make sure that this little box that says use selected features is checked, because that will restrict what is selected to what is currently selected in your source layer. Okay, so then spatial selection method for target layer features. So intersect, no, we want things that are contained in the source layer. Contain the source layer, or I'm sorry, that's not right. Are within the source layer, are within the source layer feature. Okay, so spatial selection method based on what is within the source layer feature. Okay, so I'll hit apply. And you can see what it did is it selected all the orange polygons. Let me turn off the points for a second so you can see that. So it selected all the orange polygons and only the orange polygons that fall within YA. I see that there's this ambiguous case here. It must require it to be completely within. So let me go back here. Let's see here. Select by location. Let's do let's try contain. Did that? Is that going to grab it? Nope. Or within. It does require it to be completely within. So let's are within a distance of the source layer. So let's put in that's right on the edge. So let's just put like 10 meters right here. Yep, I got it. Okay, so I think that got it, and it didn't get anything else. So, okay, a little bit of a teachable moment there. All right, so that's good. So let me rewind and show you what I did again. So I went to select by location. I did for the target layer, site areas, hectares. For the source layer district, make sure the use selected features is checked. And then spatial selection method for target layer are within a distance of the source layer feature. So, you know, just to catch this one that's just over the boundary, I put a 10-meter distance. So at this scale, that's plenty, but not too much. Okay, so it selected those. So now if I go to the attribute table for the site outlines, go to the attribute table. Okay, so now you see here's the ones that are selected, right? Let's restrict the view to only selected records. So show selected records. And now it's only showing the rows that are selected, right? So now if I grab district column, so I'm just clicking on the column header there. So it turns yellow, the whole column. And I go to field calculator. Now the field calculator is what you're going to use to manipulate your attribute table. We'll use this many times through the semester. It's one of the main tools you'll work with when you're working with attribute table data. Okay, so because I've already selected the district column, it says right here district equals, right? So you could say district equals some other column plus some other column, right? So you could create a little equation here if you wanted to. In this case, we just want to populate it with a value, which is the value YA, because it's in district YA. So I hit double quote, right? Double quote YA and close double quote. You need to put double quotes around what you want to appear in a string, in a text field. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And watch this, it's gonna zing YAs all the way down that column, but only in the selected rows. So if I switch this back to show all records, it's gonna only have YAs in the selected rows. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's do the other way, and I'll select CO here. Okay, so now I've got this other, I can zoom to selected. Okay, so actually let me unselect everything to deactivate our previous selection. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and select CO and then zoom to selected. That's going to zoom us into this polygon. Okay. So now I want to do the same thing. It'll remember what we put in the previous time. So we'll go to selection, select by location. It's got all the same stuff that we had before. So now we can just hit apply and OK. Now it's grabbed all the polygons within CO, all the orange polygons in the site areas hectares within CO. Go to the attribute table again. Show only selected. We've got one ambiguous case there. I'm going to make a note of that. So it's site number 59. Okay, so I'm going to populate this with double quote, CO, close double quote, hit OK. And I'm going to see this site. First of all, I'm going to unselect and 59. Let's see. Sort this ascending. 59. That's that one right on the boundary. Okay, so in this case, we'll do that one by hand. That's a little problematic. Actually, I could have avoided this by taking off the 10-meter buffer. Now that I think about it, I could have just said or within rather than within a distance. Okay. Anyway, so you get the idea. I would just I'm just gonna open an edit session on here. Change this to YA. Oops. There we go. So the reason for doing this, that reminds me actually, the reason for doing this is also, rather than hand typing all these YAs and COs after you digitize each feature, that can lead to like data entry errors, right? Especially if you're in a team situation, one person might put in a capital Y, lowercase a, another person might put a space after or before. All those things can lead to problems those kinds of things can lead to problems when you're trying to do analysis later. So this ensures kind of data cleanliness and uniformity. So the way to do this then is do all your digitization and then just put in the site number column, because that's pretty unambiguous. It's a number field, so it's only going to allow you to enter it as a number, right, without any spaces and stuff like that. So enter just the site number when you finish doing a polygon, and then wait until you've finished doing all of the polygons and do these steps that I just showed you to populate the district field. Okay, so that'll do it. That's one way to get attributes from one vector layer to another based on location. All right.